So one of the biggest pieces of NBA news lately has been the massive decline in ratings. TNT and ESPN ratings are both down 20%, and local ratings are down 13%. Seems that a lot of people are using these ratings declines as a way to complain about whatever they don't like about the NBA. For example, if they hate load management, they'll blame load management on the poor ratings. If they hate the amount of three pointers, they'll blame that. So I'm just going to talk about some of the reasons why people think NBA ratings are down and let you know what I think about those reasons. So reason number one is cord cutting or the death of cable TV. This is often the biggest reason cited, especially by younger viewers, partially due to the perceived youth of the NBA fan base, especially compared to Major League Baseball and the NFL. That means this demographic is less likely to have cable. I think this is a pretty legit theory. The stats prove that younger people are less likely to have cable. Cable is dying. Like, there's really no way around that. ESPN subscriptions are declining. Every cable network subscriptions are dying. The NBA really can't stop it. MLB can't stop it. No one can stop it. Illegal streams are easy to find. That's part of the problem. You know, there's really if this is the main reason, there's really nothing the NBA can do about this one. So another reason people cite is the regular season is too long or the regular season is irrelevant. It's an 82-game regular season, and more importantly, over half the NBA teams make it, 16 out of 30. I think this is the main reason the NBA thinks ratings are down, because they've proposed declining the amount of games to 78 and including a mid-season tournament. I think this idea has some merit. However, it's been an 82-game season for decades now, and even 3 or 4 years ago when the NBA had a rating spike, it was the same amount of games, same amount of playoff teams. So it just seems weird that all of a sudden people would be upset at 82 games and the amount of playoff teams. So the third reason people give is combination of injuries and load management. Guys like Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Zion Williamson, Paul George for much of the season, they've been injured or are going to be injured for a long time. Also, a lot of these teams, the Clippers, Warriors, Pelicans, Nets, have been on national TV a lot, especially the Warriors and Pelicans. And with all their injuries, they're not a good watch. As for load management, Kawhi Leonard isn't playing every game. I know he sat out a game against Milwaukee that was highly anticipated, so that probably irks a lot of fans. I think this kind of ties in the reason too, being that the regular season isn't important enough, so guys can sit out if they're barely injured, or they can just sit out if they're not injured at all. I think this is a pretty valid reason. Obviously, fans aren't going to care about the Pelicans without Zion, and they're not going to care about the Warriors without Curry, Thompson, and Green. Load management is a big buzzword because Kawhi sat out that one game against Milwaukee. I think this probably does upset fans, especially like middle America fans, because you're watching guys who make $35, $36 million a year sit out every once in a while, and frankly, guys like us, we can't just sit out days. The fourth reason people give is the style of play, mainly too many three-pointers, too many fast play, too much pace, not enough defense. Guys like Harden, Luka, and I'm sure others baiting for fouls. The decline of the traditional big man, like for example, Karl-Anthony Towns, he's basically just a shooting guard who's just really tall and thick. The theory is that the fans don't want to watch the modern NBA because it's all sterilized. All 30 teams just jack up three-pointers. This is definitely a factor for many people, myself included. I personally wish that the traditional big man was more in play, and with a slight deduction of three-pointers. I'm fine with the three-point line, obviously. It's not going anywhere. Also, free throws are pretty boring. Every once in a while, it's no big deal, but guys like Harden, Luka just flopping around, baiting for fouls is pretty annoying. There's really no easy fix for this. Three-pointers are worth more than two-pointers, so the analytics say shoot three-pointers. Like when you're the Rockets, it's working out for them. They win a bunch of games. Fifth reason people cite is player movement. The theory is that players move around too much, so fan bases can't get attached. Another factor is it's really hard to build rivalries when you have players moving around. For example, in the NFL, you have like a Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers semi-rivalry because they've both been on their respective teams for over a decade. You know, in the NBA, there's really no star players been on his team for that long, especially with Kobe and Dirk gone. This is obviously a big factor. Like I said, look at the NFL. You have Brady's been a mainstay in New England, Rodgers in Green Bay. Rivers in Los Angeles / San Diego, Big Ben in Pittsburgh. Even guys like Russell Wilson have been in Seattle for longer than most NBA superstars stick around. Peyton Manning is really the only like superstar NFL quarterback who switched teams lately. I mean, I know like Steve Young did, but that was a long time ago. So yeah, I think this is a big factor. Reason 6 is small markets feel disadvantaged. So I'm going to say this. I'm from St. Louis, which doesn't have an NBA team, but if we did, we'd be a small / medium market. The NBA is a natural movement of superstars from smaller markets to big markets. I'm just going to list some of the guys. LeBron, Durant, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Chris Paul, Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward. I'm sure I'm missing some guys. Russell Westbrook, I just remembered him. They all left small markets in either free agency or they demanded a trade. This is important. This is Lakers fans and other fans. They're like, oh, well, we traded for Davis. Well, yeah, it's because he demanded it. So all these guys used to play in small markets. Now they're either in big markets or, I mean, Chris Paul's in a small market now, but that's because he was in Los Angeles and Houston, 2 big markets. Like I said, the NFL doesn't have this issue. Rodgers has stayed in the smallest market in the NBA for 14 years, even though he's arguably the most talented quarterback ever. This is a major issue. This might be the biggest issue because outside of like Los Angeles and New York, Bay Area, the NBA players don't care about small or medium markets or cold markets even. It's kind of ridiculous. The rumor I've heard is that if Giannis leaves Milwaukee for a big market, a group of about 10 or maybe even a bit more small market teams are going to band together and cause a lockout. Honestly, I kind of hope this happens, especially if Giannis leaves Milwaukee. The big markets have way too much of an advantage, and it is hurting the NBA. The 6th reason people give is conference imbalance. The Western Conference has been better than the Eastern Conference for at least 20 years. I've been watching basketball. It has more star players, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Paul George, Kawhi, Steph, James Harden, even young rookies like Zion, John Morant. They all play out west. In the East, you really only have Giannis, Embiid, Kyrie. Durant's going to come back. I guess you could say Trae Young, Kemba Walker. They're exciting. They're not very well known, but I guess they're exciting for basketball fans. Jimmy Butler. This is a pretty big deal in my opinion. If you look at the NBA, or if you look at the NFL and MLB, they're kind of dominated by the East. The Yankees, Red Sox, Eagles, Giants, Patriots, even Chicago. That's Central Time. I count the Central and Eastern Time. They're kind of the same. I think the NBA, they really need the Knicks and the Chicago Bulls to have star players. However, it's cold up there. Their front offices are garbage. I think that next year the Dallas Mavericks will be a mainstay in that early TV slot because Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, mainly Luka. The 6th reason given is due to the China Daryl Morey fiasco earlier in the year. I'm not going to get into it. The theory is that some Americans are boycotting the league because they aren't satisfied with the league's response to China, or they think the NBA is in bed with China. They also could be upset that LeBron had pretty much supported the China instead of Hong Kong. I don't think this is a big deal, mainly because Lakers games are actually doing well in ratings. So if these people are boycotting because of that, it would seem weird to watch LeBron's games. I think these people just are against the current Chinese government, so they're using this ratings as a sign that, oh, America agrees with me. I don't believe it. I'm going to give one final reason. This is a reason I kind of came up with. No one's mentioned it before, but basically it's NFL competition. My theory is that the NBA and NFL kind of share a casual fan base. Obviously, the NFL has more fans, but when NFL ratings go up, NBA ratings go down. When NFL ratings go down, NBA ratings go up. Obviously, NFL ratings were down a few years ago, and the NBA ratings were up. I think this is connected. I think there's a group of people that they're just going to watch either one or the other league, and depending on how entertaining the league is at any time, that's how they're going to decide. Obviously, I made this theory up, so I think it's accurate. If you go to ESPN, Bleacher Report, Sports Illustrated, websites, magazines like that, you can tell that a lot of their personalities know both leagues. A lot of their fans go to the comment section. A lot of their fans know about both leagues. Most casual fans obviously prefer the NFL, but this year it's even more egregious of a change. In this case, there's really nothing the NBA can do except hope and wait till the NFL declines, which I mean, the leagues are going to probably ebb and flow for a while. The NFL will probably die before the NBA, I'd have to think. So, yeah, here's 7 reasons I given. Drop a comment. Let me know which one of these reasons you think, or if you have another theory. So, thanks for watching my video.